The killer is you. We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko and Oshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real
This is
Junko.
unexpected.
The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the mastermind, Junko and Oshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue. Until Junko decided to put her body to use. Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school. So she put on a mask and then attacked me. After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room.
Dia cuma mau nakutin doang sebenarnya ya.
Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body.
Supaya
This was
orang-orang
all to
kiranya
make
si
us
Mukuro
think
masih
the
hidup
person
gitu
who
di sini.
attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place. Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence. She needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder. And the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma. The real Junko and Oshima.
Wow.
That's the
Nyangka orang yang
whole
udah
story
mati
behind
sejak
this
awal.
incident. Well,
Ternyata.
what do you have to say to that?
Terdiam dia
Are
sekarang.
you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Dia datang ke sini kayaknya.
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Over?
Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
Ultimate Despair. Akhirnya muncul juga dia. Wow, orang yang udah dikira mati sejak awal ya.
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear. If you swear your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, in some of our home cooking. Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
Can I save? Oke, apakah ini ada dua ending? Terus ngomong-ngomong, kenapa logatnya dia kayak logat orang-orang Eropa gitu loh? No thanks.
Oh,
Did you think I was being serious? Sorry. I was just messing with you. It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
Ini adalah pelakunya. Dia juga Indonesia sebenarnya.
Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free. Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day, it was like I was stuck in purgatory. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
Tiba-tiba ngomongnya jadi datar gitu loh.
Huh? What about my face? What's wrong with my beautiful face? People have told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen you.
Tidak, aku melihatnya.
I got it! That's right! It was before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover. And you were on it!
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
So I was right. Then what you told me in the main hall when this all began...
Ya karena dia ada jerawat-jerawatnya gitu ya kelihatannya, titik-titiknya. Foto itu Photoshop.
Sometimes a little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different person all along.
Yeah.
I'm me. And Mukuro is Mukuro. She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. Two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist. Not even if they're twins.
Datar banget sekarang ngomongnya.
I know, it's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship. The
Oh,
older
mereka
sister,
berdua
tough and
kembar.
proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima! And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka the ultimate despair!
Whoa! She's a totally different person now!
Like I said, I get bored easy as hell! I even get fucking bored with myself! But if you're twins, why do you have different last names? Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit? Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
If she was your twin, that means you killed your own sister?
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. Ha! As if!
Well, I suppose I'd better explain. For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game
Oh,
from
dia
behind
punya
the scenes.
kepribadian ganda gitu ya.
The so-called
Wow.
mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family, leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment. So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life. I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course, the fact that she was the ultimate soldier posed something of a problem. She had what I call the three atrocities: atrociously rank, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive. It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste.
And that's why you switched identities?
Sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause. She was nothing more than a bit player, an extra unworthy of lines. Being the utter disappointment that she was, anyone would have expected her to get killed off right away. Which is precisely why I killed her, to meet everyone's expectations.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid becoming bored.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter, you know? If I planned everything out and knew just what was gonna happen, that'd be so boring. So, I changed things just a bit and decided to use Mukuro to make a little point.
In other words, Mukuro's death was a one-sided, premeditated act of betrayal. Just as I suspected. When Mukuro was killed, she must have been as surprised as anybody else.
Iya ya, gimana bilang gitu ya?
So, you figured it out?
Macam gue inget aja, lu udah
Well,
gak
you're
inget
right.
lagi tuh.
There's
Udah
no
lama
way
banget.
Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance. But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think? Jeez, misunderstandings sure are scary. We were the ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations. Nope, I felt despair as long as I can remember. Like I never should have been born at all. When I was born,
Apa sih
I
namanya?
cried tears of total despair. So that's why for us, it's not a big deal whether we die or kill. We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything. We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something, we go all the way and live without regret. So you just murdered your own sister and didn't think anything of it? That's not true at all. We were twins. How could I not be sad? That's why it gets me so excited. Huh? Killing my precious sister with my own two hands. That act is filled with so much despair. You can't help but put a super in front of it. It's like super, 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 super despair. No, more than that. Super, 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 super despair. It just feels so good.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And my sister too. In that moment of death, I think she must have felt that despair. After all, to be murdered by your own sister, and only as an example to someone else,
Gila.
she must have died feeling such excruciating hopelessness. I'm so jealous of her. Super jealous.
I knew you couldn't be just some ordinary person. You're some kind of abnormality.
Turning your own despair into some kind of fetish. Abnormality doesn't even begin to describe it.
I'm the hopelessly perfect ultimate human.
No, I don't think there's anything perfect about anything you just said.
Yeah, Master's way more perfect. Because on top of everything else, he's got that noble blood.
Don't you mean had that noble blood?
What did you just say? What do you mean by that?
You still haven't figured that part out yet? Man, you guys are so slow!
Oke, di luar ya.
You haven't even solved all the mysteries, and yet here you are, yapping away!
Are you talking about our memories?
You've already solved this mystery, right? I'm the killer! So how about the next one?
You're talking about the motives you provided to try and get us to kill each other, right?
So you do remember after all. Well,
Oh, balik lagi
I would
dia.
hope you wouldn't forget something so important. It was stupid of me to even ask. I apologize from the bottom of my heart for my bad manners. Did you notice that each motive I presented you had a specific theme to it?
Theme?
Tema.
Yep, you got it. So that's my question to you all.
Motifnya punya tema.
When Sayaka was murdered, what was the theme of the motive I presented?
Family, keluarga. Teman-temannya, mimpi. Human connection.
I got it! The driving force behind the motive you presented us with at that point was human connections.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Remember those DVDs I gave you guys? Each video showed the total destruction of your most important relationships. For example, your family. For example, your friends. I ruined all those relationships and showed you the result.
Pribadi nggak ada biasanya satu aja yang jahat, tapi ini semuanya loh.
I got it! It was our past, right?
Yay! Makoto got it right again! That time, the theme was... embarrassing memories and secrets! Yeah! And the whole reason Mondo did what he did was to protect his secret.
Uang. Great.
I got it! It was money, wasn't it? Greed.
Seek and destroy! Hell yeah, you got it again! Goddamn straight it was money! Celeste killed Hifumi and Taka for a little personal gain. Her greed led to all kinds of death and destruction!
What's the point of all this? Why are you making us go through this case by case?
Don't worry, sweet cheeks. Just one more to go. Now, can you tell me the motive behind crazy-ass Sakura's crazy-ass death?
Banyak buat kerjanya. Betrayal?
I got it! In her case, it was betrayal.
Precisely. You see, once I revealed Sakura's betrayal, that led to everything that came afterwards. Anyway, it looks like you answered all of my questions correctly. How painfully delightful.
But what's the point? What meaning is there in asking those questions now?
Relationships, secrets, money, betrayal? These are all pretty standard motives, right? The most normal of normal. Totally middle of the road.
But of course, those aren't the only motives that exist in this world. In fact, there are as many reasons to kill as there are people on Earth. They compel humans to kill each other, bringing despair to the world. This is what we refer to as the seed of despair.
Seed of despair?
How much longer is this stupid speech of yours? Weren't we discussing our missing memories? Why are you trying to change the subject?
If you would listen, you would see I'm not changing the subject. We are discussing your memories. What I'm trying to say is, the seed of despair is closely tied to your own memories.
How so?
You see, by taking away your memories, I gave you hope. Of course, that hope merely existed to be consumed by despair.
How could taking away someone's memories give them hope?
And plus, you haven't given us any hope anyway!
Is that so? All you've been able to think about during your time here is how to escape, right? The mere fact that that's what you want proves I gave you hope.
What are you talking about?
If none of you wanted to escape this school, the killings never would have taken place. That is why we took your memories, so that you would have the desire to leave.
Oh, karena mereka
The only
sejak
reason
awal
we
udah
want to
mau tinggal
leave
di
is because
sini.
you took our memories. Is that what you're saying?
Gitu.
Correctamundo!
Which means if we did have our memories, then we wouldn't want to leave. Do I understand that right?
A most troubling thought, isn't it? But it's not enough. I want more distress, more despair.
Berarti
I
buruk
put so
banget
much
kondisi di
effort
luar
into
sana ya.
creating hope in order to feed your despair and make it grow. So, just like Crazy Eddie slashing his prices and passing the savings on to you, let me give you a hint.
Huh? Really? Then hurry up and tell us.
Okie dokie. Like they say, seeing is believing. I'd like for you to see the outside world.
Seburuk apa kondisi di luar ya?
Sesame! Behold, the world beyond the school walls. This is the outside world you've all been so anxious to claw your way back into.
What? What? Ah?
What the?
Dangerous. The world has grown so very dangerous. That's what this means.
What are you talking about? None of this makes any sense!
What am I looking at?
This is a scene from a movie or something, right?
What you just saw, all of you should recognize it.
What? Maksudnya di dunia luar kerusuhan gitu. Kerusuhan terus dikuasain sama si
That
Monokuma.
world is locked away within the memories that were taken from you. If you can't remember, please just try. Do your best to try and recall.
Better kick your brain in the ass, because it's up to that gray lump whether you live or die.
Mungkin Gen Jacknya inget ya.
Actually, she might remember.
Who might remember?
The other Toko, Genocide Jack.
What?
The two of them share certain kinds of knowledge, but their memories aren't linked, right?
I see. If their memories are separate, then even if one personality's forgotten, there's a chance the other may still have those memories.
What do you say, Toko?
Are you telling me to swap places with her? No, absolutely not. That'd be like forfeiting my entire identity.
Toko, you're the only one we can rely on now.
Da-da-da-da! It's me, your
Nggak mikir dua kali,
little
anjir.
serial killer.
Boy, she just gave in like it was nothing.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want to have it answered immediately. Do you know anything about this video?
Huh? What video?
The video that's playing right now.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm the mastermind.
Oh, nice to meet ya.
Nice to meet you too.
Ya ampun.
That's enough! Just look at the stupid screen!
Aduh.
Aye, aye, Roger, you got it, Captain.
Dia dikuasain sama orang-orang Monokuma kayak gini ya.
Well, does it look familiar?
I don't have all the details, but... Of course it does!
Then you remember all the stuff it's showing?
Of course I do!
So you didn't lose your memory after all.
Then why didn't you say something earlier?
I only answer questions when someone bothers to ask me. I'm the quiet type, you know?
Oh my god, she's the worst liar in the world.
More importantly, if you really do remember, what is it?
Huh?
tragedy?
Tragedi.
Oh no! You seriously forgot? Maybe I can help you remember with a kiss.
Just answer the question. What happened out there?
Well, I can't really say if it happened or if it's still happening. But it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Oke, kita sudah tahu soal itu.
Why is that phrase coming up now?
Because it's all because of that event. What is? Are you serious? I'm talking about the way the world is now.
Is now?
The world's been destroyed, get it?
Destroyed?
Explain yourself. Tell us everything you know.
Copy that, darling. Okay, so this big, awful, tragic event, they started just calling it the tragedy, happened about a year ago. It was so big and so bad that even this murderous fiend went pale at the sight of it. I guess you could say what happened was man-made.
Oke.
But it was more on the level of a worldwide natural disaster. Either way, there's no doubt that it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Sebenarnya apa gitu
And as a
kejadiannya?
result, in basically no time flat, the world turned out the way it did, and that's that.
That's all there is to it? Come on! There wasn't a single concrete description in there!
Well, it just so happens I don't know any of the specifics. Miss Morose saw it all play out in real time, so why don't you ask her?
We already did, and she didn't know anything. That's why we're asking you.
I couldn't live up to Master's expectations! To die! To die! This is the...
Lebay.
Okay, that's enough of your little lover's quarrel.
Nah, oke.
Whatever happened, it doesn't matter at this exact point in time, right? The end justifies the means. Everything serves the outcome. In other words, the world has ended. That's the important thing.
How can the world just end? It's the world!
Calm down. It's okay. There's no need to panic. Every living person will be dead in 100 years anyway. So the world ending isn't that big a deal.
Dunia bukan
Oh,
masalah.
come on. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're being ridiculous, I have another ridiculous story to tell you. It's the story of the Tagami Corporation, which has given Byakuya's life all its meaning.
What? What did you say?
I'm glad to see you took the bait. You bit into it like a middle-aged secretary at an all-you-can-eat cake buffet.
Hey! So, what do you think happened to the Togami family?
Ini ngapain dikasih pilihan kayak gini sekarang?
Correct. Well done, peasant.
But I didn't say anything yet.
I just got so fucking bored waiting, I couldn't help it. Even if you're wrong, eventually you'll figure it out, right? Till then, you're just going in circles.
So, no matter what you pick, you get the right answer. Pretty innocent.
Do you think it might be a disease? Getting bored so easy.
Anyway, like I was saying, Byakuya's entire lineage has been totally annihilated.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
I can confirm that his entire family has died. Even the distant relatives. The Tagami name has perished.
Wow.
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
Stop! And said with such authority. A peasant would dare challenge us? The avatar of
Gila,
divine
seluruh keluarganya si
punishment?
Togami
You
udah mati
must
ya
learn
tentunya.
your place, peasant.
Wow.
You are no longer the ultimate affluent progeny.
They couldn't possibly be gone! The Togami family is destined to guide the world!
Hell, there is no world anymore, remember? It got fucked a full year ago.
Hold on, that doesn't make any sense. Then how do you explain the totally
Tiba-tiba jadi
normal world we were
post-apokaliptik
living in
gini
until
ya?
then?
Wow, that's a very, very, very good
Have you
twist.
considered the possibility that you're mistaken about that?
Mistaken?
Well, if I'm understanding you right, it sounds like you think the tragedy happened a year before you arrived here.
Well, yeah. I mean, like he said, we just got here a few weeks ago.
Udah di sini
Few
setahun yang
weeks
lalu.
ago? Ooh, I get it. You're saying that what happened 2 years ago actually happened more recently,
Dari sini 2 tahun
right?
malah. Wow.
2 years ago?
Well, I mean, you guys all started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago.
Wait, what? Oh, wow. Gue pikir cuma setahun yang lalu, ternyata 2 tahun ya. Mereka udah tinggal di sini nyaman-nyaman selama 2 tahun rupanya.
Hero, there's something I'd like you to take a look at. This notebook right here.
Huh? Hey, why's my name written on it?
I found it in the locker room on the 2nd floor. If you don't mind, could you take a look inside?
Sure, whatever you want. But I've never seen this notebook before in my life.
What's that? Is something wrong?
It's kinda similar. No, even more than that. This is absolutely my handwriting, without a doubt! But how is this? I don't remember ever writing in this thing! No! No way!
It looks like you actually did attend class here at Hope's Peak. But somehow, you forgot all about it.
Lies! It's all one big lie!
I don't want to believe it either. But there's also no explanation for this pocketbook.
And whose pocketbook is that?
It's mine. And the handwriting inside is also mine. There's no doubt about it. But just like Hero, I have no memory of ever writing in it.
And the reason for that is the 2 years of missing memories?
Gila.
After seeing all the
That's
evidence, do
very
you have any choice but to
mind-blowing
acknowledge the
twist.
truth?
Isn't it just so desperately dark? The mystery's solved, but it's like a goddamn funeral in here! Shit, man! I've never been to a funeral! Hell yes!
2 years of school life. How many moments of blossoming youth have you missed out on? How many fun classes? How many school events? This was your chance to build lasting friendships, right? And on top of that, something tragically sad happened 1 year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Right before everyone's eyes, the world came crashing down. You absorbed all that despair, but then you forgot it all.
But instead, 2
Wow,
whole
ini
years
kita
have
nobar
gone
aja kayaknya di
by.
episode
The
ini ya.
reason it felt so short was because our memories of the time in between had been completely removed.
You got it, honey! 2 years of memories? Poof! Gone! Which means, of course,
When everyone met for the first time, it wasn't actually for the first time. All too soon, the world's days of peace came to a bloody end.
Kedamaian hancur.
And as you can imagine, the school was no exception. The tragedy even made its way here, leading to the extermination of most of the students.
What are you?
What do you mean?
The most tragic event in human history, and the ultimate despair that caused it. I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization? An angry mob? An incredibly motivated family?
You have a point. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was none of those. How can I put it? It was more of an ideological thing. Despair is contagious, you know. It's almost like a natural phenomenon. Everyone is capable of it. And now the entire world has fallen into despair.
In other words, if you see despair as the enemy, then your enemy is the world itself.
I just don't understand why.
We didn't ask you to try to understand. This was a tangent anyway, unrelated to the matter at hand.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. Hope's Peak had taken so much
Modal
damage.
ideologi
You
doang
guys
gitu
were
loh.
the only
Dia
survivors.
bisa ngancurin
The
dunia.
members of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy were the only ones left.
And then something super neat happened. Now pay attention, because this is important, and I'm only gonna say it once. So guess what? To protect everyone who had survived, Hope's Peak was transformed into a shelter.
That's why he asked us to make that promise, to say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the world could have a fresh start.
Yeah, the headmaster put that much faith in you.
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here forever.
But creating the shelter was also his single biggest mistake. It's laughable, really. He was the headmaster, but he had no idea. He had no idea that we, the ultimate despair, had already made our way into the school. So what was supposed to be a shelter to keep you safe became a cage that made it impossible for you to escape despair. I have to say, it really helped me out a lot. It saved me a ton of time.
By the way, it was you yourselves who blocked off
mereka
the
udah masuk ke
windows,
sini
the
duluan sih.
doors, all the exits. Under the headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little sheep.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
And then you forgot all about it and started bitching about how you were trapped in here.
Once you'd finished building your little shelter, it was time for me and Mukuro to get to work. And
Me and Mukuro had come here, spending the...
That moment where you all began killing each other.
And the only reason you survived the tragedy
Only let us live so we could go around killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
Why? Why would you do that?
Because this was so much more than a simple high school death match. Rather, it was a method to hunt down and destroy every last remaining speck of hope in the world.
I mean, with the world
Karena
having
terlalu
ended
dragging
and
gitu
all.
lama-lama gue jadi boring. Karena yang dibahas itu lagi gitu loh.
Then we've been murdering each other for nothing?
Yep.
And think about it. You chose to lock yourselves up here, then started murdering each other to get out.
Padahal tadinya menarik banget.
We weren't just random strangers either. We were classmates.
No, even I can't laugh at that.
You get it.
But there's no real reason for us to believe anything you have to say.
Huh?
You say the world's fallen apart, but I haven't seen it for myself. So I don't acknowledge it. I don't accept it as the truth.
Until you see it with your own eyes. Truth and falsehood overlap one another.
It's murder! You stole our memories, invented reasons for us to do it. It's all your fault!
You certainly have a talent for passing the buck, but we don't have much time left to keep...
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the vote, of course. Oh, and also, since
What?
you guys so full of, I've decided to have you vote which one will be punished. If even one of you votes to punish Hope, well, I'll consider that a win.
Even if it's...
Oh, but don't worry.
Even if you don't, you've still got the upper hand.
It's okay. Nobody would actually vote to kill themselves, right?
Oh, let me just mention one more thing. You'll have to stay here till you grow old and die. No.
You mean we just...
We have to just
sekarang kita
live here?
kalau kita kalah kita
She's
disuruh
meant
hidup
to
di
let
sini.
us live.
If you're not happy with that, then go ahead and punish me and make your way to the outside world.
Enter a world fallen from grace, where only despair exists, where you'd likely be dead within a day.
Yeah, you've been acting up, causing all kinds of trouble.
So let me make this clear. Everyone has two choices in front of them. If a single person votes for Hope to be punished, then only Makoto will receive a harsh punishment, and the rest of you will live here in peace.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
What I'm saying is, if you sacrifice Makoto, the rest of you will get to live out your lives.
Keren juga. Nah gini dong, dari tadi ngebosenin banget aja.
What? Has your resolve softened?
Karena diulang-ulang aja bahasannya
Lost
gitu loh.
confidence?
Bahasan yang
Are
udah
you
kita ketahui.
afraid of being punished? Don't you have faith in your friends?
No, that's not it.
It's okay. You're right to be afraid. It would seem all of those around you have realized the futility of going against me.
God,
It's so beautiful. Your lovely faces erode.
Besides, Kyoko, you could never betray your father, could you?
What?
I mean, the headmaster's only wish was that all of you would survive, right? That's why he tried to trap you all here after all. The least you can do is try to honor your dead father's wishes.
Kyoko,
One person's despair is enough to seal your fate. Isn't that just the most hopeless outcome ever?
So, who do you think's gonna give in? Whose despair is gonna sign your death warrant?
no one. Nobody's gonna give in to despair. We're not gonna lose to you.
So boring. Well, that's fine. Then it's time for the final vote. And you're...
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy. By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know. The only reason we're okay in here is thanks to the air purifiers in the physics lab. If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt. In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
Apa itu kalau itu?
All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are waiting. So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you want?
Oh. Pasti bisa menjaga despair. Oh.
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
Don't lose hope now.
All my fortune-telling senses are telling me not to leave this place. But to live means moving forward, right?
Ah, gitu
So
ternyata.
even if it's hard, even if we're scared, we don't have any choice, do we? I want to keep on living. I want to open the next door. There must be something new waiting for me. So
Nah, gitu dong.
that's why, no matter what, I need to get out of here. The whole fortune-telling thing doesn't matter anymore. What matters is my own gut feelings.
Nah, gitu dong. Salah lagi kan?
Don't lose hope now.
I've been thinking about all this, and I was thinking, at a time like this, what would Sakura do? You only get stronger by taking adversity by the horns. Confront that thorny path with enthusiasm. That sounds like something
gitu
she'd
dong.
say, right? No. I think that's definitely what she'd say. Which is why yeah! I've made up my mind!
Man.
Don't lose hope now.
I don't care either way. I'm fine with whichever one is more interesting. Actually, I may not look like it, but I always hated school. Hell, no matter how I look, still hate it. Oh, but no.
Don't lose hope now.
What's the matter? You're not actually trying to encourage me, are you? Ridiculous. It never even crossed my mind that I might give in to despair. But don't misunderstand me. I couldn't care in the slightest what happens to you. I just have to keep my word. I swore I would end the life of the mastermind.
Nah, gitu dong.
Besides, the Togami family isn't dead. So until I can restore the Togami family,
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
Nih, beda nih lagunya nih.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
I decided to have faith in myself.
By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know.
The only reason is thanks to the air. Say whatever you want if I die. In
Oke,
other
ini
words,
masih sama.
the communal life you've
Kayaknya
already
terakhir udah semua ya.
All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside.
I already said I would claim the mastermind's life. By
So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you want?
Don't lose hope
Okay.
now.
I didn't
Apa
really
namanya?
know my father, so I can't pretend to know what he was thinking. But even if we're just connected by blood, there's one thing I am sure of. He would never want us to abandon Makoto and choose to stay here. I can't explain why exactly. But if I'm sure of anything, I'm sure of that. Just because we don't actually know anything, does that mean we can't understand? Could it be that... No, never mind. So, Makoto, I don't think you wound up at this school because you had good luck or bad luck. I think you came here for a different reason entirely. You came here to bring down the ultimate despair. You came here to confront despair without ever giving up.
Wah.
And if that's true, I think we could call you the ultimate hope. What do you think?
What the hell are you?
The ultimate hope? What?
So uncool. Your stupid faces, the stupid things you've said, the stupid way you all treat each other. It's all so uncool, so unhip. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up!
What? Nah, this game again. I hate this.
You suck. What do you want? So uncool. You dare to stand against us?
Wih.
Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Whoa, 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 whoa,
You're
whoa, whoa, whoa.
gross. Suffer from despair. Everything is pointless.
Woo!
Suffer from despair.
Okay.
Despair into tomorrow.
Hope keeps on going.
Oh, that was a long and easy game.
I refuse to give up. I refuse to get bored. I refuse to throw it all away. I refuse to despair. Because all I have going for me is the desire to keep moving forward.
What's going on? What's happening?
Finally. Setelah tadi hampir 15 menit atau 20 menit mungkin yang sangat-sangat membosankan. Finally, lanjut itu. Terlalu dragging di bagian pas
It looks
ngejelasin
like we've
kenyataannya
reached the
tadi.
end. I think it may be time to vote.
We just gotta pull the lever, right?
Good. I'm ready to go.
Let's put an end to these trials. Put an end to the killing with our own hands.
Mengakhiri pembunuhan dengan pembunuhan selanjutnya. Bagus. Siapa yang eksekusi aja?
The hell?
Indeed.
I lost?
Oh, kalah, tidak mungkin. Itu tidak mungkin. Masih tidak bisa terima. Bahkan Ultimate Despair sendiri yang sangat vulnerable, rentan terhadap segan, tahu? Tidak ada gunanya untuk melawan sekarang.
Well, that's just
Itu hanya
totally the best!
yang terbaik. Hah?
So this is despair.
Dan sekolah ini 2 tahun yang lalu menciptakan rencana yang sangat mengagumkan. Aku bahkan membunuh saudaraku sendiri untuk itu. Saudariku sendiri gitu ya. Datang sejauh ini dan gagal di akhir.
True despair.
The most ultimate despair.
And now I...
Bener-bener dia malah makin seneng loh kayak gini loh. Fetishnya aneh banget aja. Aku beritahu ini sekarang. Kami tidak lagi takut pada putusasaan. Karena kami menemukan di dunia luar bisa harapan. Ya, waktu itu benar-benar bukan di sisinya.
Hey,
Kau bilang keputusasaan itu menular seperti penyakit.
however,
Tapi itu hal berlaku juga untuk harapan. Yang bisa kau lakukan sekarang adalah melihat kami untuk melihat kamu benar itu.
No.
Stop making.
There's one last thing.
Nah, aku memberitahukan satu hal terakhir. Jika kalian semua ingin menggantungkan kalimat harapan, just skin my nose. Saya perhatikan saja. Dari saat ini satu persatu keputusasaan akan menghalangi jalan. Tidak peduli kemanapun kau pergi, tidak peduli kemanapun kau bersembunyi. Mungkin kau akan menemukan harapan, tapi ada garis yang sangat tipis memisahkan antara harapan dan keputusasaan. Berarti kau masih mencoba untuk menggantungkan diri pada harapan, terus saja kata kami.
It's fine.
Ya.
it can't be.
Stop it! How many times do I have to tell you?
Tindakan untuk hidup tidak memberikan harapan sama sekali. Yang ingin gue rasakan adalah ingin merasakan, oke, dia malah seneng gitu loh, mati gitu loh. Yuk,
Don't get
kasih
in my
aja.
way! So this is how the despair of death feels. It's so wonderful. Even a tenth of this despair. Even 100th. I want
Fetisnya
every
gitu ya.
last soul on this planet to taste such despair. I want the entire world to die with that despair in its mouth. Okay, let's do this. I've reserved an extra special punishment for last. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Wah. Dia nggak diseret ya. Waduh. dikeluarin semua. Wow, dan dia menikmati itu semua anjir. That's good end. Good riddance. Dan begitulah akhir dari semuanya. Quest trial terakhir, Jinko Enoshima The Ultimate Despair. Kehidupan di Havoc Academy berakhir. Finally. Gue penasaran sebenarnya dunia luarnya benar-benar sehancur itu nggak ya? Oke. Yes, sure. Yes, bahkan setelah berkata semuanya berakhir, tidak seperti bangunan yang meledak atau bagaimana. Itu bukanlah akhir yang menunggu kami. Tidak ada yang berubah. Ya, hanya ada satu pengecualian. Pemurni udara mati. Seperti yang Juko bilang. Mereka langsung mati. Hanya ada satu perbedaan. Goodbye Despair High School. Wah, ini epilognya ya. Tamat berarti nih. Kami meninggalkan courtroom dan berjalan menuju hal utama. Kami berdiri di depan pintu, tidak ada yang membuat suara. Ini adalah epilog sebelum ending terakhir. Kami lebay. Tapi akhirnya
Hey,
kita tidak bisa berdiri di sini selamanya. Kita harus pergi.
Makoto.
Untuk apa kau ingin melakukan penghormatan gitu ya? Oke. Yang buka ya. Mengambil objek yang kami dapatkan. Kematiannya ini punya Junko dan ini jatuh.
So,
Tapi apa gini saja? Apa ini benar kunci pintu ini?
Indeed.
Kau tidak perlu membaca terlalu banyak yang dia katakan untuk menemukan jawabannya.
If, on the other hand,
I will force you out.
In other words,
Aku akan memaksa kalian semua keluar. Dia berkata seperti itu sebelum menjatuhkan ini. Masuk akal jika ini adalah salah satu jalan keluar untuk kalian. Kau tidak pernah tahu, mungkin ini sebenarnya tombol yang akan membuat sekolahnya meledak.
it's true.
Oke, kau mungkin benar soal itu. Mungkin.
Yes.
Kan walaupun begitu, mustahil untuk pikir kita tidak akan mengambil kesempatan soal itu. Ya, aku rasa itu benar.
My beautiful scissors!
Iya, bodo amat. Udah selesai, kita semua harus pergi dari sekolah. Apa pergi? Kita bisa pergi keluar. Kalau gitu aja aku dan Master bisa menikah.
That's enough.
Anyway,
Oke.
But
Nah, jadi setelah kita ke sini yang khawatir. Tapi kau tahu ada akhirnya aku bagian dari publikum berpikir mungkin jika kita keluar dari sana kita akan melihat bahwa semua yang dia katakan mengenai dunia telah berakhir adalah kebohongan. Dan apa yang ada di luar di sisi lain dari pintu ini adalah dunia sedamai yang kita ingat. Kayaknya enggak deh. Kebohongan damai sebagaimana kita ingat. Tidak perlu bagaimana kelihatannya, itu masih dunia kita. Itulah dimana kita seharusnya hidup. Ya, aku rasa gitu. Dan bagaimana mengatakannya ya, Tidak seperti sekolah ini, dunia itu benar-benar besar, kau tahu. Karena itu besar, aku yakin ada beberapa keputusasaan dimanapun. Tapi juga ada banyak harapan, ya kan?
In other words,
Tidak untuk mencari harapan, mencoba menemukannya, itu sendiri adalah arti sebenarnya dari harapan. Selama kau memiliki harapan, kau bisa tetap bergerak maju. Tidak peduli apapun masalah
Am I
yang kalian
wrong?
hadapi. Bukankah itu benar, Makoto? Iya, kurang lebih seperti itu. Aku tidak perlu kau untuk menjelaskannya padaku gitu ya. Atau Jiko menyebutkan bahwa ada banyak di luar sana yang belum menyampaikan harapan. Jadi aku harus menemukan mereka dan membuat mereka bekerja untukku. Membangun ulang dunia ini. Untuk membangun ulang dunia ini, kami harus membangun ulang Togami, dinasti Togami gitu ya. Kau ikut denganmu, akan mengikuti kemanapun kau pergi.
You got it.
Bucin. Oke,
Hey,
dia mau bangun toko donat. Oke,
Okay.
aku akan pergi membeli tepung dan membuatnya sendiri. Dan jika tidak ada tepung, aku akan menanam gandum. Oke, itu semangat yang bagus. Aku mengerti sekarang. Jika tidak ada jalan, kau harus membuatnya. Oke, ayo. Come on.
Makoto,
Bahkan walaupun semua orang di dunia luar sana sudah menghilang, bahkan jika dunia semakin mendekati kesusahan, selama aku memiliki orang-orang seperti dirimu ya, aku bisa tetap maju dan langkah gitu. Wow, oke, romantis. Jika kita bisa pergi keluar sana dan melakukan sesuatu, memiliki impact ya, memiliki efek. Tapi apa yang bisa kita lakukan? Nah sih kita mikir bisa kecil, apa yang bisa kita lakukan? Bodoh amat.
Well, I guess this is goodbye. And goodbye to Sakura. But hey, if we gotta say goodbye, we may as well do it with a smile on our face.
hey guys! You guys want your fortunes told anywhere, anytime. You just let me know. I'll be there.
You know how much I hate being annoyed, but if something does come up, you may as well let me know. I can't guarantee I'll actually bother listening, but, you know.
I don't know why, but I have a burning desire to start writing. I might be able to pull it off. A story about Master and me, and the others, I guess.
I can't say I'm sorry about what happened, but still, it does feel kind of strange.
I really don't know what to say. I guess we graduated?
Nampaknya harapan benar-benar menyebar. Selama aku tidak pernah menyerah, aku harus menekan lebih kuat. Oke, cepat buka. Aku sudah tidak sabar untuk melihatnya. Pintunya terbuka. Dengan tanganku, dengan tangan kami. Kok menyeramkan? Apaan tuh? Please jangan cliffhanger. Oh, come on, cliffhanger bro. Kayak ada baling-baling atau apa gitu tadi deh, ya. What? Oh, but whatever, it is finished. Oke. Akhirnya kita bisa move on, mainin yang kedua sekarang. Oke. Wow, oke, ini twistnya bener-bener. Sobat, gue pikir tadinya cuma kayak Hunger Game biasa gitu lah ya, yang kayak ya pokoknya mereka kayak mati terus pada mati pemudahan itu terus pada disiarin gitu loh. Tapi ternyata ada twist yang lebih dalam lagi ya, rupanya ternyata mengarah ke dunia post apokaliptik gitu lah. Jadi ternyata dunia udah hancur gitu, udah hancur, kacau, dikuasain sama despair ya. Dan ternyata mereka seperti dijelasin dari tadi yang udah panjang banget dan diulang-ulang, dan gue malas jelasinnya lagi karena ya kalian udah tahu lah ya. Mungkin kalau misalkan kalian kan kak, sebenarnya dari cara ceritanya ini bagus banget, terus juga dari cara penyampaiannya dari alur story-nya juga itu juga gampang banget dicerna dengan semua twistnya juga yang nggak ketebak dan ketebak. Gimana ya kalimatnya ya, pokoknya gitu sih. Jadi nggak terlalu sulit buat nebak, tapi ya masih tetap ada beberapa unsur mengejutkannya. Yang gue sayangin sih di sini dia nggak ada kayak pilihan yang salah, kita memungkinkan kita untuk salah atau memungkinkan itu kita untuk nggak dapetin petunjuk gitu loh. Jadi seakan-akan ya jalan cerita kita udah diarahin seperti ini gitu loh. Karena kan tadinya gue pikir ya kayak game detektif lah ya kan, kayak game detektif dimana gue bisa nggak dapetin petunjuk yang tepat gitu, nggak bisa melewatin petunjuk, atau mungkin bisa nunjuk ke tersangka yang salah gitu kan. Kalau kita nunjuk tersangka yang salah sebenarnya bisa, tapi kita nggak mungkin berlanjut gitu ceritanya gitu kalau misalkan nengok dari sininya. Whatever, ini ratingnya bagus banget di Steam, jadi ya gue bisa mengerti kenapa dia ratingnya bagus di Steam. Gue pengen nonton animenya sih habis ini, jadi mungkin nanti sambil main yang kedua gue bakal nonton animenya ya. Wow, gue nggak dapet segini deh kayaknya deh. Ya gue bakal nonton animenya, habis itu kita lanjutin ke Danganronpa 2 ya. Karena gue juga penasaran sih sama kisah selanjutnya. Ya gue penasaran lagi sama ini nih, gimana nih. Gue skip bodoh. Kuma tadi ya.
Interesting. Things are getting very interesting indeed.
Oke, masih ada orang rupanya ngendalin dia.
Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a teddy bear. I am Monokuma. And I am this school's headmaster.
Wait a minute. Kalau Monokuma, aku adalah kepala sekolah. All is well that ends. Aku adalah Monokuma, aku adalah kepala sekolah. Tempatnya. Oke, berarti ada pelakunya lagi. Berarti pelakunya benar-benar kepala sekolah atau sejenisnya. What the fuck? What the hell? What? Oh, come on. Gua nggak bisa dapet ngeliat endingnya dong. Aduh. Di galeri. Oh, ini ada yang tersembunyi nih. Terakhir. Hah? Yasuhiro Gakuredemo. What? Ini harusnya si Sayaka deh yang mati deh, kok si Yasuhiro sih. Demo sih kayaknya, ini demonya. Oke, ada satu video lagi yang masih tersembunyi. But I guess that's all buat Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Terima kasih ya buat kalian semua yang udah nonton. Seperti biasa, kalau kalian suka sama game ini, jangan lupa di like dan subscribe supaya lagi game-game yang bakal gue main channel gue. Dan kita Danganronpa selanjutnya bakal gue lanjutin. Terima kasih. See you next time. Bye bye.